Hey guys, George at SoundTraxx here. This week wanted to do a quick little tutorial on how you can find your factory defaults on your Tsunami 2 equipped locomotives from your favorite manufacturers. So, how easy is it? Well, let's find out together. Let's get started. Now, when SoundTraxx provides decoders for various manufacturers over the years, we of course give them the option to custom build those decoders for the model that they're putting them into. So for example, when we build an Athearn GP38 decoder, we're going to have those decoders set up so that from the factory, when you buy your Athearn model, the lights work, the sound is correct for all the settings that you can find that Athearn wants to put in those models. Now, when we do that, of course, it changes the defaults from, say, aftermarket default, which is designed as a generic decoder, to a very specific set of defaults that you find on your model. Now, these factory installed decoders are fully featured Tsunami 2 and Econami decoders. If they have those words, Tsunami 2 and Econami, they are full featured decoders. So for example, Bachmann's Econami sound value decoders are full Econami decoders. And so all the settings, adjustments that you can make with an Econami decoder is fully available in those Bachmann models with the Econami sound value. Same thing with the Athearn factory installed Tsunami 2s and the Athearn RTR or their standard line Econami decoders. Those are full featured decoders, but they have different default settings. It's not that we've taken features away, it's just that Athearn or Bachmann or whoever has set those settings default in a specific way to match the model that they're installing it into. So the question is always, well, where do we find this information? Well, if you go to our website at SoundTraxx.com and you look under support, it'll pull down a menu, and towards the very bottom there you can see a link to factory installed decoders. And then you're going to click on that. Now that's going to take you to a page explaining kind of the reference and the experience or the partnership that we have, including stuff that we've done in the past for original Tsunami and then of course Tsunami 2. So if you have a SoundTraxx equipped model, chances are you'll find the default settings here. Now when we go to it, we're going to go ahead and use Athearn as an example. We're going to go ahead and click on Athearn, and then you can see that there's a list of the Athearn different product lines. So we're going to click on Athearn Genesis. Now when we click on Genesis, you're going to see Tsunami 2 equipped models or regular Tsunami equipped models. So now as you scroll through the list of all the different models, we're going to go ahead and use one as an example here, and I have it in my hand so I can use it as a cheat sheet. But we're going to go ahead and go to the GP15T. Now many of you guys know I love my GP15s, but we're going to go ahead and show the GP15, and in this case we're going to click the Rio Grande number 5977. Now these Grand GP15s are of course their fantasy if, what ifs, proto freelance type models that they did offer, but I did like this model, so of course I had to have one. But if I look at this list, you can see the list here in front of you now where you can see the different selection of which locomotives this particular set of settings applies to there at the top. Then you can see the list of different air horns, and you can see which ones are defaulted. And so here you can see that the P3 is the default on that Athearn decoder. And again, because it's highlighted. Now we move down to prime movers, you see that the 645 8-cylinder turbo is the one that actually is selected in this because that was the prime mover that was in the GP15Ts that were delivered to CSX and I think Apalachicola Northern or whatever it is, Apalachicola Northern. I think they had GP15Ts, but check me in the comments. Make sure. But anyway, you've got other things. Now down there you have your default function assignments. So you can see which lights are turned on with which buttons. You can see which sound effects are turned on with which. And one of the big things you'll notice here that's different from the aftermarket decoders that you would buy and install is that the RPM plus and minus has been moved up to function 26 and 27, and they've used 5 and 6 for lighting effects that are applicable to their models. And that's perfectly fine. The good news is that you can move them wherever you want. It's up to you, and that's where the full settings of the Tsunami 2 come into play. But as we move down a little bit further, you'll see configuration variable defaults. And what this is this is going to be the list of all the differences that are made in this particular decoder that are different from the aftermarket settings. And you can go through, see the speed settings and all the different reverb and volume settings and things like that. So you can go through, and let's say for argument's sake you bought a model and you didn't get the sound model but you want to match it. Here's how you can do it. You can do all these settings with your model to make sure they match. Now we do have some other settings available for you to look at. For example, if you want to go and find the manuals so that you can see how all these settings are made, you can go to support, documentation, and then manuals, and that's going to take you all the user's product guides so that way Tsunami 2, Econami, or even Blue Nami, you can find the user's guides there. Now, if you want to see the sound selections that are available on the aftermarket decoders, because as I mentioned, these documents have the factory installed sound selections, which are unique to Athearn products or Bachmann products or whoever. But if you want to see the sound selections that are available in the Tsunami 2, Blue Nami, and Econami, you can go to support, documentation, and then that'll pull out a menu, and at the bottom you can see sound selection references. And then last, if you want to hear how all those sound, go to support and then scroll down to see sound samples, and here's where you can click on the various decoder flavors, if you will, where you can have a Baldwin and Others, EMD, EMD2, and you can hear all the sounds that are unique to those particular decoders. So I hope this has been helpful for you. This is just a quick look at all the settings and how you can find the differences between the factory installed decoders and the aftermarket ones, so you can set them up where your aftermarket decoder matches the factory decoder, or you can take your factory decoder and match it to the aftermarket. And if you have any questions, reach out to us to support@SoundTraxx.com. That's all I've got for you today. Last thing is, guys, don't forget, get these t-shirts while they're hot and while they're in stock. Your special 35th anniversary t-shirts are available at SoundTraxx.com. We'll see you guys next time.